Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another Fright Night Friday Blu-ray update. Got a pretty cool trio of selections for you this time. 3 super duper deluxe collector's edition collection thingies from Scream Factory. So let's check them out today on Fright Night Friday on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. All right, so first up, we have a box set of 4 movies, of which I've seen the first 2 many moons ago on DVD. Now, as you know, I'm a huge fan of the found footage genre, and these 2 were real standouts to me. I thought they were just fantastic, really enjoyed them a lot. I'm, of course, talking about Rec, or Recording, but everyone just calls it Rec. Anyway, so this is the Rec Collection. The Recollection? Anyway, it has all 4 Rec movies. I've actually never seen the other 2, so this is going to be a real treat for me. Love the first 2. I really enjoyed them a lot. Had them on DVD a while back. There was a Blu-ray set that came out a while ago that had the first 2, and it went out of print, and I missed out on that. So when I saw that Scream Factory had put out a collection of all 4 movies, well, I almost missed it, actually. I think it's out of print now. So I got it for a good deal and didn't want to miss out on it, so here we go. So, this has all 4 movies on it. The first 2 are found footage films. The third one is kind of a prequel and not really done in the found footage style. And then I think they go back to the found footage style for the final one, which is actually a sequel. So it's like it goes, in terms of the continuity, it goes, I guess, 3, 1, 2, 4. So there you go. I'm just going to give you a very brief look at them here. We're not going to do the close-ups for this one because I'd actually like to do closer looks for these box sets here. So, nice sturdy hard box, very nice, much better than some of the earlier sets that Scream Factory did, which had kind of flimsy boxes. So we got this one here. Of course, you can't read anything on here. You know, a decent amount of extras on here. You've got commentaries and making ofs and behind the scenes stuff. Scream Factory usually gives you a good package of stuff. And that's the sequel. The sequel takes place literally minutes after the first one. And then we have the prequel. And apparently this was always the intention, was I guess when the first one took off, it was intended to do 2 sequels and a prequel, but having the final sequel be the last one. And then we finally have the 4th one, which answers a lot of unanswered questions about the others, apparently. I do know a couple of little spoilers in there. But, yeah, so really looking forward to checking those out, especially the ones I haven't seen, and, of course, revisiting the first 2. So next up, we have another box set collection of films. This time, the Antichrist child himself, Damien Thorne, The Omen. Yes. So, this one, I used to have the first 4 movies of The Omen on DVD many moons ago. You might recall, longtime viewers might remember I did a review of The Omen 4, The Awakening, I think it was. Wasn't it? Omen 4? Yeah, Omen 4, The Awakening. It was actually a TV movie, just kind of a reboot, featuring a little girl who was the new devil child, but it didn't really take off and didn't go anywhere. It wasn't very well received. The original trilogy, however, is quite good. I especially like the first 2. I think the first 2 are genuinely scary. I remember seeing bits of the second one when I was far too young to be seeing it, and there were some scenes in that just stuck with me forever and scared the crap out of my little kid self. Revisiting it as an adult, I gotta say, great films. Really, really good stuff. So looking forward to revisiting the ones that I've watched. This is actually the first time the Omen 4 has been available in high definition. I actually hung on to my DVD of it for many years because it just never came out on Blu-ray until this collection. So that's great. And this also includes the remake, which I've never seen, but I've heard is quite good. So we'll just take a brief look here. So once again, we have this lovely hard box. And we actually do have full wraparound artwork. Look at that. Even goes on the top and bottom. I think you can find like a full scan of the box art for these online. It'll give you the full picture. And this one just has an insert. I should mention, usually they have a piece of paper on the back, right? That just has the snot glue and just kind of sticks on the back there and gives you the contents. Then you can take it off and see the rest of the artwork. The interesting thing about the Rec collection is it's actually printed on the box. There's no paper here. This is just the back of the box. It's not very common for them to do that. Maybe a little more common in the beginning. I think there's some of the older sets. I think the Amityville Horror set was like that as well. But nowadays they like to do this wraparound artwork on their box sets, so they just put a piece of paper on the back. But the nice thing is the piece of paper fits right in the box, so you can just put it right in there with the discs and have it all together. It's quite nice. So just give you a quick look here. We got the first movie, which is great. This is when he was just a little tyke, you know, the obligatory scary little kid movie. And this is when he's a little older, I guess teenager, I think, and he's sent to military school. Very good. This was actually the one I saw first. I saw when I was a kid. I hadn't seen the whole thing, but I'd seen, you know, a good chunk of it when he was at the military academy. And it was quite a few years later before I saw the first one. And then finally we have Omen 3, The Final Conflict, featuring a strapping young, sexy Sam Neill as the grown-up Damien Thorne. I remember not liking this one as much as the other two. Maybe I just liked the devil child idea better than the devil adult. Something scarier about it. But I know a lot of people who really like Damien 3, The Final Conflict. So, or Omen 3, well, it's actually just called The Final Conflict. But anyway, I know a lot of people who like that one, so definitely long overdue for a revisiting. I haven't watched them since I had them on DVD, so I'm actually really looking forward to revisiting these. And then, of course, we have the Omen 4, The Awakening. It never actually had a poster because it was a TV movie, so this is just a still from the film with the logo on it. And then finally, we had, what was this, 2006, the Omen remake, which, I've heard is, as I say, pretty good. Have not seen it yet, so we'll check that out another time. We'll take a more in-depth look at this as well in its own closer look at some point. Don't ask me when. I just do them when I do them. So, yeah. Put all those back in there. But yeah, these are really nice collections, and I really like that Scream Factory's been doing more of these as of late, just kind of pulling together these definitive collections of these various franchises. And speaking of which, last but most certainly not least, we have the Fly collection. Yes, this is another 5-movie set, which contains absolutely everything ever done for The Fly. So we have the original film, we have The Return of the Fly, which is the sequel to the original, and The Curse of the Fly, which was the threequel, the third movie in the trilogy. I actually forgot that there was 3 movies in the original series of Fly movies. And then we have the David Cronenberg version of The Fly with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, and The Fly 2 with Eric Stoltz. Of all of these, the only ones I've ever seen, I've seen The Fly, the original, and I've seen The Fly, the David Cronenberg one. That one I've actually seen a few times. I thought it was just absolutely brilliant. Taking that concept and turning it into just the ultimate nightmare body horror with like sex and gore and sexy Jeff Goldblum. I mean, come on. It was great. And sexy Gina Davis, actually, too. Just a lot of sexiness in that movie. So, of course, once again, we have the wraparound artwork. Very nice, sort of representing all the various iterations of the Fly. Or actually, not really much on the top and bottom there, but yeah, really like that a lot. Huge fan of the David Cronenberg version. I think it's just brilliant, and the original, of course, is a classic. Oddly enough, I found it kind of strange. The original of The Fly was actually filmed in Technicolor, so it was kind of a showcase film for the studio. But then the sequels were black and white. I guess they just didn't want to put as much money into the sequels. But, this is the 50s when color was kind of still in the process of happening on a large scale, so some of the lower budget films were still being done in black and white back then. And then we have the Curse of the Fly there. So yeah, definitely looking forward to checking all these out, because there's 3 of the 5 movies I've never seen before. And then we have Be Afraid. Be very afraid. Yeah, if you've ever wondered where that saying comes from, right here. There you go. It is said by Gina Davis in the film. And then we have The Fly 2, which I've never seen. And I've actually heard this is a pretty decent sequel. I couldn't tell you. Haven't seen it. But, yeah. So looking forward to all of those. So once again, we'll do a proper in-depth, closer look at this. This paper's stuck to the table. A proper in-depth, closer look at this at some point. And go into detail about the extras and contents and all the additional artwork, and if there's any alternate covers and all that fun stuff. So there we go. So 3 very snazzy franchise collection sets. Very happy to finally have these in the collection. All 3 of these I kind of like waited a little bit too long, where these 2 kept on going up in price and down in price and up in price and down in price. Finally snagged them for a price I was happy with. And then this one I almost missed, so I'm glad to have all of them in the collection. Alrighty, well that is it from me to you for now. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to catch me on Twitch. I stream just about every day. Huge thank you to my Patreon sponsors, and I'll see you next time. Until then, sayonara.